to Valhalla Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Odinsbeard. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything for a few weeks. Honestly, I've just had a lot going on over here at the homestead. The wife and I have been trying to renovate our bedroom, and then we're taking on the stairs, and my band is getting ready for our big show this summer. I actually probably never shared it before on here, but I'm in a cool hard rock band out of Long Beach called Eclipsica. We're going to be playing some shows this summer. We're going to be playing September 11th in Ohio at Incarceration Fest. So if you want to check out our music, I'll put some of our information in the description down below. But I wanted to do something a little different for today's video. I do have more gaming videos planned in the near future, but for this video I thought I'd do something a little different. Even though a majority of my interests do reside in gaming and geek culture, movies, tech, there is something else that I do love, and that is whiskey. Scotch, bourbon, whatever you're fancy or what you like to drink. I like honestly all of it. So I think for this review, instead of being referred to as Valhalla Gaming, I'm gonna call it Valhalla Tasting. And I figured for this first Scotch tasting video, I pick a Scotch that not only has my interests, but whether you're a Scotch drinker or not, may appeal to you in some way or another. Now, some of you may be familiar with the show Parks and Recreation, and on that show Parks and Recreation, there is a character on there by the name of Ron Swanson. He is a government employee who's this extreme libertarian, who's this manly man who just drinks Scotch, eats all the meat, and is just honestly a real delight. Whether you agree with his politics or not, he's just a true gentleman. In the show, he drinks a particular Scotch, a real Scotch, called Lagavulin 16. I actually have a bottle of it behind here, whether it's in focus or not. That Scotch, if you haven't tried it, or if you've been interested in trying Scotches, it is quite delicious. Now, if you're not a Scotch drinker and you've never tried it before, honestly, it is quite harsh. It is very what is known in the community of Scotch drinkers as smoky. Some people may consider it the same as maybe drinking paint thinner, but no, it just has a lot of aromas in it, and it's very potent, but it's really tasty. So once you kind of get a little bit more familiar with what you're looking for in terms of the notes or the flavors that you're seeking in your palate, it is probably some of the best Scotch you can drink for the price. But Lagavulin and Nick Offerman, the actor who plays Ron Swanson, partnered up and decided to make a cool collaborative Scotch that not only took Lagavulin as we love it, but he wanted it to be in something that was something his dad liked, which is Guinness, and they would stow the Scotch in Guinness barrels. And that's what brings us to this Lagavulin 11-year Nick Offerman Edition, cast in Guinness barrels. So what I assume is in the process here is that they'll take what is supposed to be the Lagavulin 16, take it out a few years early, and they just stow it in Guinness barrels for a time, just so it can really absorb those flavors that you get from Guinness. Whether you're a fan of Guinness or not, I'm impartial. I love Guinness. My wife and I took a trip to Dublin a couple years ago, and we went to the Guinness brewery where we saw all the cool history, and they had this beautiful tasting room, and that's where you can kind of get that famous Guinness Perfect Pour certification. So it's really fun stuff. But I figured this would be my first go ahead and tasting it, plus it gave me an excuse to justify paying for it. Now, this particular Scotch at Bevmo is around $89.99. It is a special edition. Whether or not it's going to be an ongoing Scotch they're going to have going forward, or they're going to probably discontinue it later on, you know, I figured I'd at least try it now. But yeah, I'm gonna open this bad boy. You know what? I was gonna try, maybe I'll do a cutaway, or maybe I won't. Blah blah blah. So yeah, actually that's really cool. So they have a nice little engraving on there. You can't read it. If I succeed, it's because I aspire to be half the worker my dad is. Oh, that's actually really sweet. So yeah, Nick Offerman is a real, genuine, hands-on guy. On Parks and Recreation, Ron Swanson is like, he's like the everything man's man. Like he's a Scotch drinker, but he's also like a wood maker. So he actually crafts things out of wood. Nick Offerman, of the same character. Hello, Athena. He actually has like a wood shop where you can actually buy things made by him, like chairs and tables. He actually does it for real. He's legit a Ron Swanson, minus like the ideologies and what have you. But that's the bottle. Oh, no, that's the box. This is the bottle. So it has the very much bottle of the same design. Doesn't really look like they changed a whole lot, but you know, you get no Nick Offerman right on there. Offerman Edition, established 1816 in Islay. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with a good old Ron Swanson time, whether you're having Scotch or a steak. And on the bottom here it says, yeah, and my heart into the bargain. Yeah, no, he's a real class act, this guy. So now time to really try to see how good this is gonna taste. I'm really excited. Now, I always felt like with any kind of alcoholic beverage, whenever you have like a little peely part, you know you're getting a good product, or it's just all in the branding and the packaging. Be delicate, be gentle with her. This is probably my favorite part. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, no, definitely right off the bat, the nose definitely has that strong, smoky Lagavulin scent. It's very, very much what I'm looking for. I want that bit of that campfire. Now, I'm not a Scotch snob. I enjoy drinking Scotch.
I love Scotch. I love Scotch.
I'm not a drunk. I'm not gonna say, oh boy, I want to drink this just so I can, get hammered. I actually want to enjoy it and taste it. But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm an expert. So if you're watching me enjoy this or try to explain what it's like, I'm not some certified expert. I'm just gonna tell you what I think about it. If Lagavulin and Scotch, bourbons, all the other kinds of whiskeys are, something you fancy, then maybe we have something in common. Who knows? Outside of the world of video games. All right. Okay, so it still very much has a very, very Lagavulin scent to it. Very peaty. All right, the moment of truth. You swoosh it around. So what I'm really looking for is the Guinness. So I'm trying to see where I can find the Guinness in there, and it seems it's more in the back end. So definitely so the front of what you first taste is very much going to be your standard Scotchy, smoky Lagavulin flavor. But as it starts to settle, down your throat, the back of your tongue, and just like the remnants of it in your mouth, that's where, if you're familiar with Guinness and know what it tastes like, you can get hints of it. It's not super strong, but the subtlety on it is actually very, very nice. Now, if I'm going to be honest, this is a good Scotch. It is a very good Scotch. I think if you're a fan of Nick Offerman and Parks and Recreation and the sentiment that's trying to be sent with this, I think, the whole idea was, it was kind of a dedication to his father, and his father is like a big fan of Guinness and things like that. And you're a collector, and you're someone who wants to try all different kinds of Scotches. This is something, get your hands on it, try it, because it is still a delicious tasting Scotch. However, if you're not, say, a fan of Nick Offerman, Parks and Recreation, and you enjoy a good Scotch, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. So this bottle was $89.99 at Bevmo. Now, I'm in California. Different Bevmos, different taxes, they may vary in terms of how much things may cost. Now, a lot of places will sell Lagavulin the 16 year. I'm going to grab the bottle, actually. So this, it's good because it's I only have that much left. But Lagavulin 16, a bottle of this in a lot of places like a Bevmo is $100. This was $10 less. This is still very good. But if you have a Costco membership, they sell this bad boy for around $69. So if you're more just interested in trying Scotches, or you just like to have a good Scotch to have on hand, you can get this at a notably cheaper price without maybe the branding. Now again, this is not me saying this is a bad Scotch. This is very tasty, and there are subtleties to it. So if you are someone who likes to catch on those subtleties, this is something I would recommend. But I'm a big fan of Nick Offerman, huge fan of Lagavulin. I'm hoping that sometime in the next year, the wife and I will be able to have a trip to Scotland, and I can go to the distillery and drink some of this stuff from the source where it probably would taste best. Other than that, guys, this is just kind of me, having an excuse to have some delicious Scotch in front of y'all. and probably just make content because I haven't made anything in a couple weeks. The next video I'm looking to try to do is probably going to be on stick drift and controllers and all that jazz, kind of going back to the gaming stuff. But, you know, let me know what you think of this, if this change of pace, if you actually want maybe the occasional review on some scotch or a bourbon or a booze. I have like a whole cabinet of stuff, nothing super fancy. I'll try to get my hands on some stuff that's good. I'm not gonna be, you know, like that old Van Winkle, something Van Winkle. It's like this really hard to find stuff that's like really expensive, and I won't say it's like the unicorn of the Scotch bourbon world, or I think it's Kentucky bourbon. It's I'm not spending $2,000 for a video, sorry. But other than that, guys, thank you for tuning in to another Valhalla Gaming, or for the first Valhalla Tasting video. Hope to see you on the next one. If you do go on to like my content, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.